Okay, I'm at Southern Caramel in Melbourne, Florida. This is Sarah, and this is Jimmy, who is her father and also her partner here in this business. And I first tried this back around Valentine's Day. They mailed some to me in New York, and I thought it was amazing. And here we connected online, and we're just going to do a quick tour real quick. So how did you get started?
Started making the caramel in my home kitchen while I was employed over at one of the defense contractors over at the beach, and we were giving them out as gifts. And fast forward a couple years, wanted to stay home with my daughter and quit my day job and started making caramels from home. And as she grew, the business grew, so it was. We went into a kitchen sharing situation after that, and then Dad joined in 2018, and we moved into this space, and it's just been onward and upward ever since.
Okay, so could we look around a little bit?
Yeah, come on back.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going into the place here, and we're in Melbourne, Florida, and I see a lot of boxes here. How much of your business do you think is shipping?
Most of what we do is shipped out in one way or another, whether that is through our website where someone's ordering and buying a box just to send home or to grandma, or wholesale where we're packaging orders and shipping them out wholesale. So I would say 95% of what we do gets shipped in one way or another.
Okay, so you just operate out of this retail store. And are you from Melbourne?
We are. Yeah,
Okay.
I was born and raised.
Okay, so
I'm from your area up there, Brian. I'm from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, so there's definitely a northeastern connection here. So
yeah, he recognized my accent as soon as I walked in,
Yeah.
which was hilarious. So do you want to lead the way and we'll
Sure,
go
come on.
take a look at the process?
Come on.
Before we started to record, you mentioned these machines, and by the way, this is a 2-pound bag. I just want to show you real quick. This is a 2-pound bag. These machines that you use.
Absolutely. You know, prior to getting the machines in, we used to cut and wrap everything by hand, and we would have the rollers similar to this and a big block of caramel, and we'd roll these things out, and it was just it was taking its toll on us, you know, physically more than anything else. So we invested in a Filson cutting machine, and this did a tremendous job in terms of being able to give us quality, consistent cuts time after time. But it wasn't enough just to have the caramel cut properly. It has to be wrapped properly too. And we've had it up to 4 people, individuals. We had 4 ladies wrapping, seated side by side by side. Each one in a 9-hour period of time could do about 1,000 pieces. Mm-hmm. So over 36 people hours, we would be able to do 4,000 pieces and wrap the caramel. And if I can trust this to you,
Oh yeah.
they'd come out looking something like this.
Yeah, they're almost square, perfect square.
Yes, and you know, great points, Brian, because what we do is when they're wrapped within this machine here, we're able to do 250 pieces on the high side in a minute. So going from 4,000 in a day, we're able to drop the the production time way down. And this piece of the equipment here has been completely rebuilt from a company in Ohio. It was born on June 30th, 1966, I believe.
It doesn't look new.
Yeah. And her name is Cornflake, and she is a tireless worker. She just cranks out caramel after caramel after caramel. And I will show you what it looks like when she's going. So basically an operator would stand on this side. They take a piece of caramel. This one's been wrapped, but no gloves because these aren't going to be used, and the machine will be washed when we're done. The operator would place the caramel into these holes here, and then the caramel would go around in a circle in this ring. As the caramel goes around in a circle, a foot's going to touch it and determine whether or not there's either a void in that hole or a piece of caramel. If there's a piece of caramel in there, these pullers will pull a piece of cellophane out. The scissors underneath will cut the cellophane. The lifters will lift the caramel up into a piece of cellophane. The grippers will grip the caramel, and it'll continue on its way around. And I'll show you what that looks like right now.
Am I in the right position?
Yeah, you just watch right here. So now it's pulling the paper, pulling the paper, pulling the paper, and here they come.
So what I got in the mail back in February, this is how it was created.
That's how it was created, just like that.
And you do everything in this location?
We do everything in this location, 100%. 100% of the cooking, the production, the wrapping, the packaging, the shipping is all done here. And as Sarah said, about 95% of everything we make goes out of Florida. While we do have retail operations here, we are more of a wholesaler. So on a good day, you'll see boxes of caramel packed floor to almost the ceiling and going out to the various retail distribution sites.
Mostly in the United States?
Yes, almost
Okay.
exclusively within the United States. We have shipped some into Canada, but that's rare.
Yeah.
Now, this machine cuts them then?
Yes, that machine actually performs the cutting, and how we get the squares is rather than change out our cutting blades and our arbor, we use one fixed size. So the caramel's placed on a board here. The board goes through the machine, comes out the other end here, and then as you can see, the arrow's facing this way. There's another arrow, so we would take the caramel and turn it 90 degrees, place it back on the machine, and that's how it would make its perfectly square cut piece of caramel.
Okay. And then this is the pot that you would boil?
Yes, Sarah, that's back to your area there for your sphere of influence here. This is where the magic actually takes place, is back here in the kitchen.
Well, where it starts and then it just flows on down the line. But we make everything here on these induction burners. We can have several pots going at one time. But sugar, cream, and butter, that's the ingredients in our caramel. And everything gets cooked here. And then what we do is we pour it into these pans. And the pans set, we cover them up and they set overnight in the rack. And then the next morning they're brought on over to the cutting machine, and you already knew that process. So you kind of did this a little backwards, but that's where it's cooked.
Okay, could we go back out front and talk about some of the flavors?
Sure.
Okay, so I see you have these big containers here, and then out front you have about 7 different options on display. By the way, like I said, they do retail. Here are the different caramel flavors, and they actually have samples up here. And are these for anyone who comes in to try?
Of course.
Okay, so I have a question. Sea salt caramel. What's the difference between caramel and sea salt caramel? Is it just sea salt?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So our original recipe caramel, or our old-fashioned caramel, is just a good, buttery, rich caramel. And the sea salt is that same recipe, and then we do a coarse sea salt sprinkled on top, so you get that salty sweet combo. But they're very similar. It's just one has salt and one doesn't.
Okay, and what's so special about sea salt?
The sea salt really just brings out that combo of the salty sweet. It's a coarser grain salt, so it's not like a fine salt that's added in there. You're going to get the crunch. You're going to feel that sugar crystal when you bite in. And of course, being here in Florida, we like to use sea salt. We're big on the sea.
Yeah, how far does Melbourne have coastline?
Yes, Melbourne Beach.
Okay, Melbourne Beach, and I guess that would be east of us.
Correct.
Yep. About
Okay.
3 miles as the crow flies.
Yeah, not far at all.
Okay. All right, so that gives you an idea. I guess we're in central Florida on the East Coast.
That's
Correct. And we're a little bit south of Cocoa Beach. We're known as the Space Coast.
Is A1A go to Cocoa Beach?
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
does.
does.
Okay, because I did see A1A on the map, and I thought that was the Keys, but...
It'll run
It does
from
take-
US 1 will run down to the Keys all the way up to Maine. So it's the nation's East Coast highway.
Now, speaking of the Keys, I've been eating a lot of key lime pie here in Florida.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
And you said
yeah.
right now lime salted is one of your favorites?
Yeah, that's a regional favorite for sure, and a favorite for companies or people that come from outside of Florida. It's a fun local twist because, like you said, we do a lot of lime in Florida.
Okay, also, when I first got the package in the mail, I did not get to try the lime salted. I want to try that. And I also, right here, I'm showing you this salted caramel sauce. I want to take one of those with me.
Of course.
And this is this like a customized package, or is this something you could order from the site? Because I think mine came in a box like that.
Both.
Okay.
So that is what we call our sampler pack. So you can create your own with any 4 quarter-pound boxes, and you get to pick which 4 flavors you like. So you're going to get a full pound, but the benefit of that over just a pound of caramel is you can decide which 4 flavors you'd like to try.
And you mentioned before we started recording that these don't really melt, so you could ship them any time of the year.
That's true. Yeah, caramel will, if it's left in the heat, it will get soft, but once it's returned to an environmentally controlled circumstance, it'll basically regenerate. It'll return the same quality, the same consistency, the same firmness, and the flavor will be there.
Okay, so and this is your salted caramel wall, did you say, or
Yeah,
you called it
that's
something
the
like
wall of addiction. Is what
Wall of addiction.
customers call it, but we just refer to it as salt. You know, it's interesting that we do probably 4 to 5 times more salted caramel than anything else that we manufacture.
You mean this one right here?
Yes, the sea salt.
So this is your biggest seller by far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's been gone for a while in my house, so.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, you can
Okay.
stock up here live and in person.
All right, you're southerncaramel.com. You ship around the United States.
Correct.
Anything else you want to tell the viewers?
Well, we've got a couple of gift holidays coming up. Mother's Day is coming up, so we've got our lavender tea caramel and our chocolate strawberry caramel that we run for Mother's Day. The bourbon is popular for the dads at Father's Day, so.
My personal favorite.
Okay, this is the bourbon they're talking about. What is old fashioned, by the way?
That is our original recipe caramel. So,
Is this the one you were making at your old job?
Yes.
Okay,
The,
okay.
the one that really started it all. So we just recently changed the name from Old Fashioned to the original because some people thought it was like the drink, but it's the original.
It's
Okay.
the same recipe as the sea salted, it just doesn't have the salts.
Yeah, okay, we were talking about that earlier. So these are the boxes, and then these are the little bags, the caramel sauce, and that's it. So check out Southern Caramel. Follow them on Instagram, just Southern Caramel, right?
Southern.caramel on Instagram.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you. Good seeing you, Brian.